Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Routine in the Kitchen. Today I'm going to be trying out a Nigerian recipe called jollof rice. So the first thing you need is to have your whole chicken. Chicken is very important for this recipe according to what I saw. You will need your whole chicken cut into pieces, the size you prefer. You will need 2 large tomatoes. You will need 2 red bell peppers. You will need thyme spice. You will need bay leaves, and you will need tomato paste, and you will need seasoning cubes, chicken flavored, and you will need curry powder. Something else, you'll need garlic, ginger, and big large onions. And also, before I forget, you'll also need some salt and some vegetable oil. If I've left out something as I was mentioning the ingredients, I will mention it later as we continue the video. Also, something important to get the perfect jollof rice, you will need parboiled long grain rice. For me, I got parboiled basmati rice. This is the one I found in Kenya. Rane Guess Chef's Special Parboiled basmati rice. I'm going to tell you how this one turns out so that you can get it for you and your family. So let's get into the video, into the recipe already. Okay, also remember that the first thing you do when in the kitchen is to clean your hands. Do not go and start cooking before you clean your hands. I'm going to add these chopped onions to my chicken. That's my baby girl making noise. She just woke up. You're going to add some onions. Also add your garlic and add your ginger. I'm going to slice mine into 2 big parts. Something else you will also add some thyme. You will remember I had to tell my daughter to go away, so I've added onions so far, garlic and ginger. The next thing you need to add is some dried thyme. Add your dried thyme. I'll be using this. Add some dried thyme. The next thing you add is some curry powder. Add some curry powder to your chicken, and also some salt and a seasoning cube. Those are what you need to boil your chicken. I won't add too much salt since we will also be adding some more salt later on. This is the seasoning cube I'll be using. Chicken flavored. If you are using beef, you should use beef flavored, but if using chicken, use chicken flavored. I usually see this jollof rice whenever I'm watching a Nigerian movie, and I'm such a fan, so I had to try it out. So the next thing you do is to rub in the spices in your chicken. And then let the chicken simmer for some minutes so that they can absorb the spices before you add some water. Mix well. You can wear some gloves if you have some. If you don't, you can just use your hands, your bare hands. So just mix and put it on the fire to simmer for some time, and make sure you cover. Now let me simmer and we'll be back after some few minutes. As the chicken gets ready, as I'm simmering my chicken on low heat, I'm going to prepare the stew base. Don't mind my blender. So the thing you need to add at the bottom is tomatoes, because they already have some water. So if you add tomato as the first thing, you won't need to add extra water. Unlike when you add bell peppers as the first thing, tomatoes should be there down at the bottom. Make sure you use 2 large tomatoes, but mostly it depends on the amount of stew base you want, the amount of rice you are cooking. I can hear the chicken has started simmering. Make sure it's on low heat to avoid burning. Prepare your stew base using onions, bell peppers, and habanero pepper, or just pepper. Yes, habanero pepper. You can use a quarter of it if you don't want your food to be too spicy. I've already added my onions, so sorry, I've already added my tomatoes. So the next thing, I'm going to add my bell peppers. Remember, when adding bell peppers, remove the stem and the seeds to avoid the stew base being so bitter. They make the stew base bitter, so just use the red thing. Do not add the stem and the seeds. I will show you as I remove. I have already removed the seeds and the stems. So the next thing is to cut them into small pieces. I'm using 2 bell peppers for this recipe. Today a Kenyan is trying out to make jollof rice, hoping for the best. But I trust my chef skills, so it won't disappoint. Cut your bell peppers into small pieces. And make sure you don't cut yourself. So if you can easily cut yourself, like someone I know, just use a chopping board to slice your tomatoes, your bell peppers, to avoid harming yourself. But if you can do it, the better, because it's even more faster and you avoid dirtifying more utensils. These bell peppers were too large, but I believe they are the best ones for jollof rice. Next time I try out egusi soup, so watch out for that video. If you love this one, and if it turns out good, why not try other Nigerian recipes? I usually hear that Nigerian food is so good, so that's why I had to take a chance and try. slice your bell peppers to avoid adding them in big chunks. If the tomatoes water is not enough to blend, you can still add some water. You are not limited. Next, I'm going to add pepper. You can use habanero pepper, but for me I'll be using our normal pepper. Let me show you. This is the pepper I'll be using, a quarter of it, because I don't want it to be too spiced, or rather too bitter. So even for this one, just remove the seeds. And just slice it there. You can add more if you are a chili person, but I'm not a chili person. I don't love chilies, but I can take chilies, but I don't love them. So next I'm going just to cover and see if they will boil. If they will blend. If they don't, it will need me to add some water. Let me rinse my lid and then cover. The chicken has already simmered, so now I will just add some water and let the chicken boil for 10 minutes. Already the smell is so good. So let me add some water and I will tell you the next step. Also, the stew base is already ready, so thick, because I didn't have to add some water. Next, I have to clean my rice, parboiled rice, and I have to chop my onions. Yes, and as the chicken boils, the steam is coming from the boiling chicken. I'm going to go ahead and fry my stew base. As I prepare the onions and clean the rice, I guess I still need to use some water to rinse this, because this is a lot of stew base going to waste if I don't. But you can see, if you have juicy tomatoes, how they can save you. So if you can get 2 large tomatoes, they will save you in using water, because I don't think using water is such a good idea. Now it's time to clean the rice. I'll be using I'll be using 2 glasses of this. Also, make sure you use something that can help you to clean the rice. You can see mine has some holes. If you are in Kenya and you can't get this where you live, you can just DM me and I'll just do a delivery for you. Delivery charges on you. One goes for about 500 shillings, so you can just tell me you want one and it will get delivered to you. So make sure you clean your rice until the water is clear, so that you don't make rice that looks mashed. I hope you get my point, because of too much starch. So make sure you clean until the water is clear, so that you can get rid of all the starch. This is my ready chicken broth, so I'll just sieve to avoid the chicken broth having big chunks of bones and the big chunks of the ginger and garlic. So we'll have to sieve and get clear chicken broth. This is the stew base. You can see most of the water has evaporated. Now don't let it dry completely, but it should not have so much water. So I've removed the cover so that more and more water can evaporate and get the right stew base. The reason you cook it before so that water can evaporate is so that you don't have so much water and make the rice overcook. Next I'm going to deep fry the chicken and let the chicken brown well and cook well. And you can see my stew base is still cooking. So that's next I can fry my onions and fry the tomato paste. I hope you have been following up to here. Next is to fry some onions. Make sure you use the oil that you have used to deep fry the chicken so that the oil can be a bit spiced. Add your onions to the hot oil. The oil I was using to deep fry the first batch of chicken, so the oil is already hot and a bit spiced. So I'm going to cook these onions, then I will add some tomato paste. This is my first batch of deep fried chicken, which is ready as I'm frying the onions, and as my next batch of chicken is browning, getting ready. My onions are ready. They took so much time. Next, I'm going to add tomato paste, about 2 tablespoons. That's enough for 2 tablespoons. You should use tomato paste that doesn't have sugar, no sugar added, and you stir and wait for the tomato paste to cook for some time before adding the stew base and the chicken broth and the spices you need. Remember, we are still yet to use some spices like bay leaves and all. Allow the tomato paste to cook for some time. After the tomato paste is ready, you can see how the onions turn out, and you can see they are almost burning. That is how you know the tomato paste is ready. So next you add your bell pepper sauce. You remember the stew base we made, you add it. Make sure you don't leave any in your bowl. I added mine to a bowl because I had to use the same pot to fry the jollof. Stir a bit. After you stir the pepper sauce and the tomato paste and onions, add your spices. I will add dried thyme. I will add some salt. Make sure you add little. You better add more salt later on as you take your rice, rather than having jollof rice that is too salty. Add your curry powder. Add your chicken seasoning cube. By the way, I've never used this cube before, and after tasting the chicken, it's about to be one of my favorite spices to have in the house. So make sure, even if you don't have other ingredients for your jollof, make sure you have that one. I have loved how it tastes, so I would recommend. I'm going to stir first before I add something else to avoid the stew burning. Next, I'm going to add my 2 bay leaves. You can add more, but for me, I chose to go with two long legs. So excited about this recipe. I hope it turns out to be a favorite recipe, something I will be making on regular basis. So I'm avoiding stirring too much. Next, I'm going to add my chicken broth. Next, I'm going to add my rich chicken broth. Loved it so much. It's as if someone added some chili. So I'm going to start before I add the rice. And when cooking jollof, you should cook it on low heat. So I had already cleaned my rice and it has dried a bit. No, actually it has dried completely. This bowl helps, so you should get it. Actually, get it from your nearest store. I guess most stores that sell utensils must have it. Next, I'm going to stir. Water should be slightly above the rice. This is about to be an exciting meal. So I don't know whether to use some aluminum foil to cover so that they can cook well, but for now I'll just use a lid. If I feel like I need an aluminum foil, I will add it too. Wow, the jollof is now ready. Now I know why Nigerians are always taking jollof. Hey, this rice is so good. Just tasted about 1 tablespoon and I can attest it's so good. Now I'm going to plate it and we enjoy as a family. This is my plating. This is how we are going to enjoy it as a family. I love the results. I love how the rice has turned out. Definitely trying this recipe again. Make sure you try it out and let me know how yours turns out. That's my daughter ready to eat. Bye. See you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Definitely, as a Nigerian, you should not forget to subscribe. Hoping to try out more other new recipes. Bye. See you next time. Let me go and enjoy my meal. Bye. Hello again. Today is the next day after cooking the rice, and I noticed that I didn't show you that my rice burnt a bit. This is allowed because it makes even the jollof more sweeter, and I've noticed it's even sweeter when it's cold, because yesterday we took it warm and I just tasted it as cold jollof rice and still as good. So I hope you consider trying out this recipe, because you should. Don't forget to subscribe again. Bye again.